Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the Book It sports community and around the world. We got another great episode of Teammate for you. I hit the lab early yesterday.
Let's go.
So I got a POD, I got PP squares, and I got a full platter for everyone that's watching today. We're going to get to that around the 11:15 mark, around the 11:10 mark. We're going through the whole slate. I'm talking NBA, I'm talking college basketball, and I'm talking a little bit NHL. So just keep that in mind. We're going to get to that a little later. We got Josh in the stew, another episode of the morning after. University of Alabama, University of Illinois. Can you please make your way to the front of the classroom? Because go fuck yourselves. I cannot believe that Illinois blew that lead in the fashion that they blew that lead. And I cannot believe that the best scoring team in the SEC got 100 hung on their head and didn't even look like they were in the game. I mean, what the fuck are we doing over there in Alabama? They shot 30% from three last night.
Yeah. I mean, you knew
what are we doing?
Just take a million shots a game. Like, it was going to happen eventually. But yeah, no, that's a shit wager.
And of course, it's like, oh, now the Sharps rear their heads because Florida was the favorite and fucking. And then I got 900 comments. Did you know you could have got Purdue plus chicken? What are we doing, man? I mean, every time I feel like I pick Purdue in the not sharp spot, they sell. And then when I pick against Purdue in the sharp spot and I take Illinois, they somehow have a legacy comeback and win. Like, I still have no faith in this Purdue team. I just want that set.
Yeah, no, they're going to choke.
Like, I still have no faith in this Purdue team whatsoever. I know Zach Edey is the guy, whatever. I still have no faith in this Purdue team whatsoever. Not even a little bit. There's not even an ounce in my body that has faith in this Purdue team.
Yeah, I don't think anyone should.
University of Alabama, you're fucking canceled. Oklahoma, one of the best teams at home in the Big 12, huh? One of the best teams at home in the Big 12, huh? Can't cover 5.5. The parlay lost by one leg. Josh, why don't you go ahead and guess what the one leg was? It was a late night game. Some are saying it was even one of the plan Bs.
Oh, I forgot. What did we decide for the play? Oh, it was one of them. Was it Nevada?
And I'll tell you what, it wasn't Boise State minus 5.5 because that wasn't sharp at all. If you took that, you're a bozo because Nevada basically flipped that spread on you and won by 10. It was the ranked San Diego State.
Yeah.
It was the ranked San Diego State minus 1.5, and they lost outright to UNLV.
Dude, sharps are actually grubbing.
No, they're not. Because if they took Boise State, they're not grubbing.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
they grubbed yesterday.
Yeah, they
I
grubbed
bet every
overall.
Twitter personality was yanking their chicken.
Oh yeah,
in GTA all over the feed. I couldn't even open Twitter. I literally couldn't even open Twitter last night because I didn't even want to see it. The parlay lost by one leg. Texas Tech and Oklahoma won. Oklahoma did not cover. San Diego State. I'm gonna need to see you in my office. What the fuck, dude? Like, what the fuck? Like, I was actually so angry last night just watching all these things go against me. But again, Providence covered against Ed Cooley.
Unreal.
That's how you get one. That's how you get one. The POD today is in the Big East. In case you're wondering, just a sneak preview.
Can I guess?
Yeah, if you want.
Is it the boys?
Might be the boys.
That aren't your actual boys.
It might be the
like
boys.
your secondary boys.
It might be the boys.
Okay.
I think it is the boys.
Okay.
If you know who I'm talking about.
I assume I know who you're talking
It's my
about.
lick back. It's the boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the boys. Auburn beat the shit out of Mizzou. I'm sorry, Josh, but it was
Okay.
always minus 11.5.
Yeah, no shit.
That was just the
We're
freest bet
terrible.
on the board. That was the freest bet on the
Put
board.
up 101 points.
That was the freest bet on the
And
board.
we can't score. I don't think we've scored more than 81 times this year.
You scored 74, but it's okay. Probably the baddest beat of the night. The baddest beat of the night. I'm holding Ole Miss plus 2.5. They lost by 3.
Dude, I finally fucking hit one against you. That's all I was thinking about.
You dirty bastard. 66-69. We had Ole Miss plus 2.5, lost by 3. I got rinsed yesterday, and I'm not hiding from it. I won't hide from it. I refuse to hide from it, but I got fucking rinsed last night. And I'll tell you what. Big bounce back today, Josh. I can feel it. It's in the air. And I felt like, we talked about it yesterday. I felt like I said I saw the board clearly yesterday, but I wasn't seeing the board.
I told you.
I wasn't seeing the board.
That was the exact conversation we
Yeah, I
had.
was not seeing the board
Yeah.
clear. Today, however,
Okay.
I feel like I was in demon mode. And I feel like I was seeing the board so clear. But before we get to the board, I do want to talk about one thing.
Yeah.
Ben Simmons, it's time to fucking hang him up.
Yeah.
Like, if I have to see one more graphic or one more tweet from the Brooklyn Nets or NBA Central about how he is missing another game, I'm just going to be upset. Because it's too much, dude. It's too much.
It is.
Like,
I mean,
it's too
been
much.
It's
You're
been his
done.
whole career.
Like, just cut him.
Yeah.
Eat the cost and cut him.
Dude,
I don't want to see him again. I don't want to hear from him again. He's been the biggest prima donna ever in the history of the NBA since he got drafted.
and he stinks. Like
Stinks.
Kyrie kind of like
Stinks.
is like the same type of player, like a lot of drama following him, like isn't always gonna play, but like at least he's good. Ben
Dude,
Simmons goes on the court and
stinks.
averages 5 points a game.
Stinks.
Yeah. Remember when he just passing up layups in the playoffs? He just like wouldn't shoot the ball in the fourth quarter. That's how you knew. It's like, why
Dude, he
would you
passed up
ever
a game
trade
winner.
for this guy? Like, yeah, no, I want that guy.
He
on my
passed up a
team.
game winner, if you remember that.
Yeah, like right under the basket,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
literally a game winner. He passed it up. There is nothing that makes me more angry than Ben Simmons. Like, I'm not even kidding. When I see a tweet about his back or him not being able to play, there's literally nothing that makes me more angry than Ben Simmons.
Yeah. Someone said getting paid to sit courtside.
Like, actually, though, in
Yeah.
the most absurd outfits, too. Like, it's like he knows
Yeah.
that, like, someone's going to zoom in on him at one point during the game, so he wears the most absurd shit.
Yeah.
Like, he's only spent his salary on outfits.
Oh, for sure.
Like, maybe go to a doctor, get the back figured out. You know, because the back problems only started when you started like sucking and getting exposed for not being able to shoot the ball.
That is true.
The kid
He's-
didn't make the NCAA tournament and was a #1 overall pick.
Well, he only went to LSU, I think, because he knew he
But
was
that
auto #1
Should
overall.
be illegal. If you can't make March Madness as the #1 overall pick,
I'm trying to think who hasn't done that. Let's try to think.
nobody.
Who was
Washington's Markel Fultz made it.
who was Anthony Bennett on?
UNLV, they made the
Did they
tournament.
make it?
Yeah. The Rebels.
That's the only guy that wouldn't.
Yeah,
that
just-
wouldn't have done
Just
it.
trying to think of busts
Yeah.
at this point. Mark Carter Williams, Syracuse, they made the tournament.
He was a #1 pick.
Or no, #2.
I was gonna say, dude.
No,
He was
might
up there.
have
He was like
been
top 3, I
#1.
think. Yeah.
I think-
To the Bucks, right?
To the Sixers.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
then he went to the Bucks.
I don't know if he was ever
He was on the Bucks. He was on the Bucks. I remember.
I don't
putting
know
it
if he was ever on the Bucks.
on. No, he was. Chat confirmed that.
Did anything happen to you last night?
No, nothing at all.
Nothing.
Literally nothing. Just relaxed, laid down, took a little nap after work.
Wow.
Dude, naps are the best thing of all time. I used to take them every single day after school. Haven't been doing it lately.
You're a nap guy?
I haven't been the last like 3 years, but now I might be again.
But you're like a nap after school guy.
Oh yeah. Well,
In
dude, I would-
college, you were a nap guy?
no, not in college. In high school, I would do it. I would just
Wow.
because I would always have to like come home from school, nap, and then go to soccer practice for like 4.5 hours because I have goalie practice and then real practice. So like, I wasn't about to be doing that for that long. I needed a little rest.
I was actually just having this conversation with my girlfriend a couple days ago. I'm the opposite of a nap guy.
Really?
I've never napped, never been a nap guy in my entire life. I hate naps.
Really?
I feel like I always wake up feeling 1,000 times worse. And I would love to know what the chat says across every platform.
Yeah,
if
let's
everyone
hear
could
it.
just tell me what they think. I always feel 10 times worse when I wake up from a nap. I'm either sweaty
Yeah.
or I'm like, fuck, I just lost an hour and a half of my day. Like, I never feel recharged, never feel rejuvenated. It never works for me. It never works. Am I getting
Dude,
ripped?
No, Book It with Prime's been in here trying to get me to take back the Kyrie comment for fucking 10 minutes.
What was the Kyrie comment?
Me comparing him to Ben Simmons.
I mean,
He's
off
a diva.
court.
Yeah, he's
off
a,
court.
that's what I'm
antics,
saying. Yeah, they're not the same on the court.
Prime,
obviously.
just fucking relax.
But yeah, no, I think that it matters how long you take the nap for. Because I feel like if you take like a nice like anything under 45 minutes, I feel like I wake up and I'm still fine. But like if I go to sleep for 2 hours, like a 2-hour nap, I ain't going to sleep and I feel like shit after. I just feel so tired after.
I've also noticed that I feel horrible if I get too much sleep. I went to bed at 9:30 last night, 10 o'clock maybe. Woke up angry. I don't know what it is. And it only happens when I sleep, like when I go to bed too early. And I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know what's wrong with my body. But if I get too much sleep, I wake up ready to just like throw hands. And I don't know why that is or what attributes to that. But like, I've now realized I can't get too much sleep.
Yeah.
I can't get too much sleep. I need to have too little sleep and a cup of coffee.
Okay.
and then I'm like good mood.
That's kinda how
rock and
I am
roll.
too,
If I
honestly.
get too much sleep, I don't know what it is. It's over. Like my body's almost like, dude, what are we
Yeah.
doing?
Like if I get like 10 hours of sleep, 12 hours of sleep on the weekend, like I can't get out of bed for 2 hours. Like I'm just
Moose.
laying there.
Moose.
I agree with that actually.
Moose. So
That
I
might be a
need to-
hot take, but I do agree.
Do you think that's a hot take? That might be a hot
It
take.
might
Like
be.
the 8-hour thing, I'm out on. I need 6.
Really?
Give me a good 6 and a cup of coffee, and I'll be in a good mood all day. No nap.
Yeah, I get like 8 probably.
See, 8 feels too much.
Go to bed at like midnight, wake up at like 8.
8 feels too much for me.
Yeah.
1 to 8:30 is like my perfect. Go to bed at 1, wake up at 8:30. That's like my perfect fall asleep.
Okay.
Because then I
I
feel like
believe
I
that.
wake up and I'm like, oh man, I'm so tired. I just want to go back to bed. But then I feel like I beat my mental when I just get out of bed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, fuck yeah.
Now
I
we're
just-
good.
I
Yeah.
just
That's all you
beat-
got to do.
Like I just beat that tired. You
put
know
your
what I mean?
feet
though?
on the ground. That's all you got to do, and you're good.
Yeah, but it feels like I start my day with a win because I'm beating my own
Yeah.
body. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Because
yeah.
the body's like, dude, let's just go back to bed. And I'm like, I'm not going back to bed. I'm not going. Time to get up. And then I have a cup of coffee. And I'm fucking good to go. I did want to say this. So last night, I just got a text from Trent. I don't even want to hear it. Ingram with 12 points last night. So sharp. So Trent told you guys to fade the taco. Faded the taco. Well done, Trent. Also want to say we've never had a winning day after Trent sits on the couch. So if you guys are
Yeah.
wondering why I missed all my bets yesterday, it's because there's a Book with Trent Tuesday. So maybe on Book with Trent Tuesdays, I put out one play
And we just fade.
and just see how it goes.
No, we just fade everything that we would normally take.
yeah. Just if I faded everything I took, I would have went 5-3.
Yeah.
Went 3-5.
Would have been a day.
Do you know how devastating it is? First of all, I went to Texas Roadhouse last night for dinner.
Gas.
Do you know how devastating it is to be sitting at Texas Roadhouse and they got all the games on and not a single one's going my way?
Just shoveling.
And then I get a house salad
cinnamon bread in your
side,
mouth.
just shoveling by the pound cinnamon bread into my gullet,
With G unit. Trent said.
feeling like I'm not deserving of the full rack of ribs I just ordered
Yeah.
that are just so fatty that I can't even eat. I ate like half the rack of ribs. They're so fatty, and they got every game on. Not a single one is going my way. And of course, like I love my girlfriend. She's literally the best. Like I don't know what I would do without her at this point, but we're sitting there, and I'm like, oh dear. And whenever I say that, she like knows I'm talking about betting, and she's like, oh, who'd you take? And it was the Bama game, and I was like, Alabama, and she goes, oh, that's not good.
Yeah,
Then
thanks.
then they come over with the house salad that's just covered in a hard-boiled egg, and I just want nothing to do with it. Just so gross. And then they bring out my rack of ribs, and I just feel like a fraud.
Yeah.
Like I feel like a fraud. Like Providence, the only one who's covered. I'm 1-4 going into the rack of ribs. Like, what am I doing? I don't even deserve this dinner.
Dinner with the squares. That's
Dinner
what
with the
it is.
squares, man. Literally
Dinner
dinner
with the sharps
squares.
is literally G unit at Roadhouse.
Like actually,
That's so funny.
dinner with the squares. Didn't even get a steak at Texas Roadhouse. That's how you know I did it wrong. I got the ribs.
Yeah. I
What
never
am I
had the
doing?
ribs.
They're so fatty.
You know what are good? They're shrimp. Grilled shrimp. I get the shrimp and steak
Gosh,
combo.
I was literally between a fillet and shrimp combo.
That's what I get, yeah.
or a fillet and ribs, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just get the full ribs. I have a feeling if I went steak and shrimp,
Might have-
Alabama comes back.
Yeah, they might have.
Illinois covers, and I'm sitting there with the sharps at Texas Roadhouse.
Someone said shrimp at Roadhouse is criminal off the bucket account. I assume that's Dave.
That's got to be Dave.
It's got to be.
That's got to be Dave. But dude, I was actually moose. Like having to eat dinner at a Texas Roadhouse while nothing is going your, just being out while
Yeah.
nothing is going your way
It's never
is
fun.
like the worst feeling ever. dude.
never fun.
And I always try to like just keep a good mood. Like I don't like to let it affect me. And I don't think it does for the most part. But like when it's just in front of my face the whole time, like if there was no game on, I'm fine. But just having to like look over every 5 seconds and seeing like Alabama like cut the lead to 15, then it's back to 20. Like
Yeah.
I just I couldn't do it. I
Yeah,
couldn't.
it
I-
is the worst, like doing that. Just
I was just
you
mentally
know you're
shot.
done, but you're like, oh, I gotta look again.
I know, like,
just
yeah,
to make sure. Yeah,
Yeah, like it has nothing to do with the outside world. Like
Yeah.
it's just like I just need to make sure that they're not coming back. Like it's like just a quick check every time. It's like, are they coming back? Fuck, they're not coming back.
Yeah, of course they're not.
I did want to give my flowers to the Providence Friars. Fuckhead Cooley.
The boys.
Covered -7.5 in your own house. In your own house. Devin Carter dropped 24 points. I mean, we're back.
You're back now.
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
You were just dead yesterday.
Yeah,
now
no,
you're
we're back. We're
All
back.
right.
We're back. We're back. All we need to do is cover against Ed Cooley. We're back. As
Yeah.
a program, we're back. Fully programmed back.
Fair
Should
enough.
we get into some betting?
We can.
Or do
There's
you have
one thing
something
I
you wanna
wanted to
talk
show
about?
chat that I think is really sick. It'll take a couple minutes.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm sure you saw this. I might have showed you this yesterday, but Sean O'Malley's trunks for this
So
weekend
sick.
are disgusting.
So sick.
I guess you can buy them on the UFC shop.
Did you
too.
pull him up?
No. Yeah,
What's
Wait.
up, fellas? We're
Gosh,
4 days
I
away
might
from
use
UFC
an extra
299 live on
defenseman.
pay-per-view.
So tough.
What's up?
So tough.
Unbelievably tough. If Josh pulls up in the pink spandex, I'm retiring. If
With
Josh is like,
O'Malley
dude,
on
these
the
were
side.
sick, so I bought him, and he's just wearing UFC spandex around the house, like I'm hanging him up. I'm done.
Just wear him as underwear. You
I'm
could.
done. I'm done. I'm
Be
done.
like compression shorts.
Oh yeah, you could.
Probably good.
I mean, you could. It'd be a little weird if you were like, yeah, I wear UFC trunks as
for sure.
underwear.
I'd
Like,
say O'Malley on them.
imagine you're out at the bar, you like meet a great lady, and I'm going back to take your bed. It's like, what are those? It's got the sponsors all over him. It's just like UFC on the front. It's just like so clearly not underwear.
Dude,
Yeah, it's the Sean O'Malley shorts. I thought they were cool.
Dave said he just lost outright. Thanks, Dave.
Oh, that's good. No, I think O'Malley's gonna win. I'm confident in his ability.
He will.
Fresh hair dye. Did you see
Dude,
that?
so sick.
So sick.
Did you see like the embedded? Do you watch those?
Yeah, I do, but I haven't watched them since Conor McGregor stopped.
It
fighting.
looks like it's all like it's like pink, blue, but it's like 4 different colors or 3 different colors of pink, 3 different colors of blue. So like when he braids it, it'll
Oh, it's
all be
gonna look
different. It'll look
sick. Yeah,
so
it's gonna
sick.
look
Yeah.
so sick. No, he has the aesthetic done like perfectly.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
unbelievably sick, dude. Like he
For
not
sure.
a single clip of him fighting doesn't look cool because of
Yeah.
like his hair and like the trunk, like so sick.
And his knockouts. Yeah.
yeah, and his fucking
And he doesn't lose.
finds a
which is
chin.
good.
Have I told you my Sean O'Malley story,
About yeah.
dude?
I think you might have
don't know.
told them this too.
Have I told them
About him touching your chin.
Yeah, how he,
Yeah,
like,
I think you
touched
told
my
them.
chin and it
I think-
felt like
Yeah.
like an actual brick hand. For those of you that haven't heard the story, we got to go to a Prize Picks event. Sean O'Malley pulled up. My brother is a huge UFC guy. So I was like, oh, I feel like I got to go up to Sean. I got to just like, I feel like I got to just say something to him. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I got to ask him like a cool question that I can tell my brother about later because he loves UFC. He loves Sean O'Malley. So like finally get the courage up. Keep in mind, everyone's been boozing. We've been boozing.
Oh yeah.
Sean's been
For-
boozing
For 4
I've been
hours.
boozing.
Yeah.
For 4 hours. I was like, I got to do it. So I go up to him. I was like, yo, Sean, I'm sorry. I just got to ask you the dumbest question ever, bro. Like, my brother's a huge UFC guy. We're big UFC fans. Can I just ask you like a quick question? And he was the nicest guy ever, by the way. Big Sean O'Malley fan. He was like, yeah, dude, sure. What's going on? And I was like, so, you're like a knockout artist immediately. Terrible way to start that. He
Yeah.
was like, oh, I wouldn't say that. I think I can get it done any way I want. And I was like, okay, well, having watched the knockouts.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my bad.
And no submission.
Yeah, I was like, my bad. But just wanted to ask, like, what are you looking for in these scenarios where you get these crazy knockouts? Like, you just have a crazy way of finding chins. Once I said that, it's like the flip switched. He hit the stance so quick and the hands came up, dude. And I was standing like this, like literally hunched over, holding like a vodka Sprite, like looking like such a little dweeb. And he hit the stance so quick and brought the hands up. And he was like, I just look for the chin, man. And he did this and like, just like joking around, tap my jaw right here. Like clearly the perfect spot where you want to hit someone for a knockout. It rattled my brain.
Yeah.
He barely touched me. Like the guy had stone hands. Like it touched my chin and like my head moved a little bit and it felt like my brain rocked. And then I was like, oh, I fucking knew it, man. That's awesome. Like, thanks so much. And I walked away because I was like, I don't even want to be involved. Like that foot might come up. I might be lights out and they might be like, oh, it was a good bit. And I'm not remembering, what I ate for breakfast for
Yeah.
the next year.
Yeah, you're done.
So I was like, I'm done with
Dude,
that. But
people don't realize how big his hands are too. It's not
Dude.
even that. I don't even know if it's like how hard he hit you, but his hands are just gigantic. They're like mitts. He has
Pause.
mitts. Yeah. You know those Hulk hands? That's,
yeah,
that's what they are.
He's got those
That's what
green
they
Hulk-
are.
Pause, dude. Brick pause.
Yeah.
And it touched my chin. I almost went out. All right, let's get to some betting. I got a POD today. I got a full platter. We got some Prize Pick squares that I was looking at that I kind of want to get involved in. All right. So everyone, this is the part of the show that I know you love the most. We're going to extend it from now on. So we're going to get a little bit more granular on the betting. So you can see what I'm taking. Then you can see what the BTL boys taking. Then you can see what Trent's taking later on in the day. Go from there. Make sure you like, subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed to the Twitch. If you're watching everywhere else, thanks for watching. Let's do it. Josh, should I start with the POD or should I make him wait?
I think you make him wait.
Let's make him wait for the POD. All right, guys, listen. Top of the slate. It's our little darling at home. USC plus 5.5. Yeah. It's South Carolina plus 5.5. I'm tired of the disrespect. And it's only with this team. And I think there's no sharp way to bet against them. I don't think there's a sharp way to bet for them. I just don't think Vegas thinks they're that good. And
Yeah.
they're one of these teams that doesn't give a fuck.
They don't.
You're giving me 5 points at home? You're giving me 5 points at
I
home.
might just to leave those points too. Maybe just a little sprinkle
wanna-
on the money line. I mean, take the points, but then
Another
a little-
Josh, leave him at the door with USC.
Dude, I feel like you just have to keep riding them. Like when they keep getting disrespected like this, like
they're
you
incredible.
might
dude.
as well.
And I feel like they match up well against Tennessee too.
Oh, for sure.
I
Dude,
mean,
they're like they are legitimately a good basketball team,
dude.
and I don't think anyone thinks that in Vegas.
And I think Michi Johnson always has great back-to-back games. He just dropped 24, I think, last game. I would look for him on the PP board as well.
Yeah.
That was one of the squares that I earmarked last night. I was like, Michi Johnson points. I feel like
Yeah.
he might bust. And I feel like Tennessee normally high-scoring games. I wouldn't even hate this over either if you didn't want to bet either side.
Yeah.
I wouldn't hate this over because I think both
Yeah.
teams can score at will. I don't think both teams are going to look to slow the pace. I see this game possibly going over, but I'm going to take 5.5 with the Cocks.
Yeah.
Some cock
You
at
have to.
5.5.
You have to. Yeah,
I mean, you got it. Maybe leave them at the door.
it's an average cock right there.
Maybe you just take some plus chicken cock.
Yeah.
And you live your life knowing you took the cock.
No one got that joke, I don't think. But
Houston UCF. Do you have anything about this game you want to talk about?
I don't have
It's
much
just
I want to
Houston
talk
on the road,
about.
a big spread scares me.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
UCF at home also scares
But
me.
I also think that when Houston goes on the road, they struggle to score a little bit. Their defense travels pretty well. I kind of like the under in that game.
You like the under in that game?
131, super low total. I could see it being like, I don't know, 65, 60, 65, 58.
Yeah, I could see that too. I don't hate that under. I just feel like my only thing with that game is UCF at home is just always weird. Every time I fade them at home because I don't think they're good, and they're not good, they always cover
They-
a weird
yeah, they just
spread. And
figure
this
it out,
8.5
yeah.
feels like a weird spread.
They're like just good enough
I know.
to fuck you.
Like Hunter Sellers, I think is his
Yeah.
name. Salas, is that the
Salas,
kid
yeah.
on UCF?
Yeah.
He's pretty fucking incredible,
Yeah,
I will
he
say.
is.
Jalen Sellers, that was it. Hunter Salas is on Vanderbilt.
Yeah, same colors,
Salas,
same shit.
Sellers, yeah. But dude, I don't know. It opened at 8.5. It's still at 8.5. I don't know, dude. That is a low over under though.
That's very low.
130, dude.
Very low.
You might not even escape with a 60 something game, dude.
Yeah, it'd be close.
That'd be a little too
Yeah,
close.
125.
Dude. Yeah, that'd be a little
My
too
predicted
close.
score.
But that under's telling you something. But then, okay, so high spread, low under, over. What does that tell you?
Probably that the dog is going to cover.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I look to take an over, I look for a close spread
Yeah.
because a close spread tells me it's going to be a close game. You
Follows
take
at
that
the
over.
end, yeah.
Dude, plus 8.5 for UCF might be a play. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but
Okay.
we now have the Northeast Conference Tournament quarterfinal. Wagner caught a win yesterday. Now they play Sacred Heart. So I wanted to talk to you about this a little bit because I feel like a lot of people are going to start betting on conference tournaments,
Mhm.
and we always see weird things happen at conference tournaments. A 6 seed wins the whole thing. A 5 seed wins the whole thing. A 1st seed loses its first game. Conference tournaments are weird, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. You're going to want to take your time picking your spots in these conference tournaments because I think a lot of the time, and I think hand up early on when I first started betting college basketball, you want to do this where you go, Wagner just played yesterday. They're going to be tired. They're playing a better team. But sometimes in basketball, you just need to find a rhythm.
Yeah,
And you can play
that's what
6
it
days in
is,
a row.
yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Once you find that rhythm and you find how to win and your guys are scoring, you almost don't want those days of rest.
Yeah, you don't.
And those other teams, you're practicing. You're like, oh, we don't know who we're playing. So it's just an open practice.
Yeah.
Like the day before, Sacred Heart is just an open practice. You don't know who you're playing yet.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's not like you're game planning.
you're studying both teams.
Yeah.
And then you know the day, or I guess that night, who you're playing.
And you're not really like the practice isn't that hard because you're like, we got a game tomorrow. Like, we don't know who we're playing, like kind of fooling around. I'm sure about it. Be careful taking favorites in conference tournaments, especially in these weird conferences like a Wagner Sacred Heart that spreads at 5.5. That's a weird spread.
That is.
4 and 5s are weird spreads. I want to take Sacred Heart, but I feel like we saw it 2 years ago, Texas A&M, when they almost won the whole tournament, or when they won the whole tournament and still didn't get in, I think, right?
Mhm.
In the SEC. And then you saw with Georgetown a couple years ago with the Big East. They didn't win a conference game all year, won the whole tournament. Because all you need to do is get hot and you catch a team off guard.
Yeah.
That hasn't played in a couple days.
That's true.
So just be careful. Just a message out there with these weird conference tournaments. Just be careful taking favorites,
especially in these ones, like
especially
these
in these
conferences.
ones.
Yeah,
Like when you get to the SEC and the Big East, I think you can pick your spots because
Yeah.
there are some bad teams in those
Yeah.
conferences that even if they have a couple days of playing on the team that's gotten some rest is different in college basketball than football. I feel
for
like.
sure. Oh,
Like in
yeah,
college
well,
football, NFL,
yeah.
you got more rest. You're going to come out and look better regardless.
Well, yeah, 'cause there's so many more injuries too. Like that's the thing. Is like
So many more.
these guys can get an ice bath after the game. They're not sore the next day. Like they'll be all right, and they're feeling it.
And I feel like rest almost hurts in basketball sometimes, especially if you got like a real good guy on your team, giving him rest to get out of a rhythm.
Yeah,
But when you're playing day after day after day after day after day, that's why you see guys like Carson Edwards in March,
just go.
dropping
crazy.
30 a game for
Yeah.
4 games. Because once you find that rhythm, you're fucking good to go.
Yeah.
So I'd be careful with that game. I'd almost be more inclined to take Wagner, but Sacred Heart has kind of been our wagon. So I'm looking at that 5.5. I don't know what I want to do with that 5.5 yet, but I'm looking at it.
Okay.
I'm not making love to it, but I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. Lemoyne's playing Fairleigh Dickinson. Again, weird spread, 3.5, right? You look at that, you go, dude, that's 2 layups at the end of the game. 4 free throws at the end of the game. That they should cover that with ease. FDU has kind of been getting a little hot, but I don't want to touch that game either, I'll be honest. Miami Boston College. You want to talk about that game? What do you know
Miami,
about that game?
BC.
Yeah. I don't like betting against or for Boston College at all. And this Miami team has taken a massive step back from last year. Obviously, they lost a lot of guys, but
Dude, I kind of like Boston College.
plus 6.5, right? That's what I was thinking too.
I
Go
kinda
into
like
Miami,
that.
quit and post,
I kind of
do a little damage.
I wouldn't hate the over in that game either.
Ew. You want to take a Miami Boston College over?
Kind of.
Dude,
It's a high
that's
total.
gross.
It's a high total.
That's gross. That's gross, dude. That's gross. West Virginia, TCU. I looked at this game a little bit. West Virginia at home has kind of been covering lately. I don't know if you've been taking note. They've been kind of covering at home, and now they get a real short spread against TCU. Might be the Mountaineers.
Okay.
It might be the Mountaineers.
I think TCU's
dude.
overrated.
It
So
might be the Mountaineers. It opened at 4.5, moved to 5.5, though. What does that tell you?
Javon said frogs, period. What does he know?
He thinks they're going to beat the shit out of him?
I guess I did tell him to tell us if the frogs are going to win next
So
time.
it's the Frogs.
Yeah, it must be.
All right, so hand up. We listen to Javon. You guys can hear the sell job right after this. If you stay right here, we got BTL coming up right next in the same stream. You can listen to his sell job on TCU. I'll be on TCU. I'll take that. I like TCU with that. I don't mind that at all. Michigan State minus 9.5. Thank you.
Who are they playing?
Northwestern at home, and Northwestern's a way better team, 9.5
Yeah,
points.
that's a lot of points.
Thank you, Tom Izzo and March. It's a
Yeah,
system now.
That's a lot of points. I like
It's a
that.
system that we have around here. Tom Izzo in March. It used to be Rick Pitino at March when he was at Iona. Tom Izzo in March. You take Michigan State minus 9.5 because why the fuck is that 9.5 points? I don't think Michigan State has covered a spread in 3 years, let alone this year.
That's a ton of points.
So give me Michigan State minus 9.5.
I like it.
They're going to beat the shit out of them, is what that tells me.
I like
And
it.
they're a way worse team on paper and in performance. So give me Michigan State minus 9.5 at home. Josh,
Yes.
I want you to take my hand. 'Cause now we're getting to part of the slate where I got dirty last night. And I think we take the LSU Tigers on the road in Arkansas.
Really?
I think we take, and I'm going to tell you this, I think we leave the points at the door.
Okay.
I
I love that.
I think we leave the points at the
I love
door.
that.
You take the plus chicken Tigers because, as Krabs has said a million times, as everyone says in college basketball, 4.5 is a weird spread.
It's down to 3.5 on here. What I'm looking at.
I think we leave the points at the fucking door
I
and
think
we
so,
take the
too.
plus chicken Tigers who are getting a little hot at the end of the year. And I'll tell you what, you're going to want to look out for these Tigers when the SEC tournament starts. And I think we leave the points at the door and we take them against the Frogs in Arkansas, who, by the way, I think is moose shit this year.
Dude, I love. They're
So I think you
terrible. Arkansas
leave
terrible.
the points at the door with a hot LSU team that's going into Arkansas that, by the way, is fucking moose.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think it's the Tigers today.
I think
Go
we throw
go
that
Tigers.
in the little parlay today.
plus chicken Tigers in the
Yeah.
parlay today.
I got 2 right now. That I got marked down that I think should be in the parlay.
Okay. All right. I'm not done yet, but we're going to get
No,
there.
no.
Loyola Chicago on the road going into Davidson. Give me it with all my heart. Give me it with all my heart.
Going into Davidson.
Take my heart and put it on Loyola Chicago going into Davidson because guess what? They just beat Dayton at home. Now they go on the road into Davidson. It's a short favorite again. Give me Loyola Chicago going into Davidson. I don't care that Davidson is favored. Okay. And I don't see this as a regression game for Loyola Chicago. I don't see this as a game for Loyola Chicago that goes, fuck, we just beat Dayton. That's the game we get up for this year. Fuck the Davidson game. I don't see that at all.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening even in the slightest. And I'll tell you exactly why. Because I think Loyola Chicago still has a chance to win the A10 conference.
Oh, for sure.
And if you think that they're dropping games to third to last Davidson on the road, you're out of your gourd. It's now win conference season. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck about the spread. It's win your conference season if you're a good team. And you can't drop a game to Davidson after beating Dayton and making a statement.
That's facts.
And now you root against Richmond to lose every game.
Can I butt in?
Yes.
Give you one play.
Oh, shit. Yeah, no, I want it.
North Texas plus 2.5
Who are they playing?
against Florida Atlantic.
Did I skip that one?
No, it's at 7. It's
Okay.
right after.
Oh,
what you
yeah,
were
we're
just
going to get
talking
there.
about.
Okay.
They are winning that game outright, and I guarantee it. Their defense is going to slow
You're
them
going
down.
to guarantee it?
Their defense is going to slow them down so
know,
much. I
dude.
might
This
go
might
to the
be-
game. It's right down the street.
Dude.
Maybe
this-
rip the game.
Josh, this might be a FAU better team in March.
Dude, I think that people underestimate how good North Texas is. Like they play, it's because they play boring basketball. Like they just play super slow. They slow you down. It's not fun to watch, but it gets aggravating for other teams. And I guarantee FAU is going to get aggravated to that.
Can UNT respond to Vladislav Goldine?
That might be the only problem that we run into. But I think
That's
they
a big
can.
problem, though.
They just slow teams down. Like they get them in their half court sets every possession.
Yeah.
Or they try to.
I mean, they definitely do.
And I feel like, what's his name? Vladisov? Is that how you say his name?
Vladislav Golden?
Yeah. I feel like he thrives in transition. Getting him down the court fast, getting the ball quick, not giving them time to set up on defense.
Vladislav Golden.
Yeah.
I think FAU's going to beat the shit out of UNT. I'm not going to lie to you.
We'll go head to head again. We'll do it again.
this might be a spot
We'll do it again.
where Josh has my ass again
We'll do it again.
in his hands.
Yeah.
What's up? You just agreed to that?
Wait,
I
what?
said this might be a spot where Josh has my ass in his hands again.
Yeah.
And you went, yeah.
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 It might
You
be.
got it all over it. Fade Rhode Island, George Mason -3.5. I hate URI. It's a shitty college. All the kids that go there are fucking dumb. Fuck that school. I went to Providence College, so you guys can all blow me from the back. It is George Mason -3.5. Thank you. That school fucking sucks.
I don't know shit about either of those.
Yeah, they
teams.
tried to party with us. They're a bunch of fucking goons. I've never met a cool. I've never met a cool kid from URI. Let alone like seen one in the wild. That I was like, oh,
None of your
that's
friends
cool.
went there?
No,
No.
dude. No, dude. They always come to Providence, try to like get in your house parties. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
I want to say that Jeff Rosa went there. I think it's pretty cool.
Okay.
I like him. That's the only person I know that's ever gone there. And Fats Watts, whatever his name was. Was that his name?
Who's
I know,
Fats
something
Watts?
fat. Those are two
Who
people.
the fuck is
Two names.
Fats
Two
Watts?
names combined.
Who
That's
the
what that.
fuck is Fats
What was the kid's
Watts?
last name? Those Fats. You don't remember him
I
on
know
Rhode
Allen
Island?
Iverson's nephew went to URI.
He was selling Fats. You don't remember that?
No, dude.
Sick name.
No, dude.
Fats Edwards.
Wait, is Jeff Rose the kid
No,
that, like, when Providence played URI a couple years ago, was like, URI's beating him out, right?
Yeah.
And then we beat the shit out of him?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay, that
think
checks
so.
out. Okay.
They're saying he's
Um,
catching strays. I said he's a nice guy.
No,
Like,
you
what-
like him.
Yeah.
You said you like him. I just said URI kids suck
Yeah.
because I went to college around them and they used to come down to our area. And I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Fats Russell.
Fats Russell. There you go.
Sick name.
There you go. There you go. There you go. I've
Fats
never
Watts.
met Jeff Rosa. St. Bonaventure, George Washington. Dude, so George Washington on the road has kind of been a little bit of a wag. A sneak wag. Sneak wag. And they're getting 8.5 points with the Bonnies, who have been game-to-game team this year. And when I say game-to-game team this year, I mean game-to-game teams that you can't rely on how they performed the game before.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I want to do with that game. I'm probably not going to touch it. Might be a game I touch. Butler is playing Xavier in Butler, and Butler's -2.5. Here's what I want to do in that game. My heart says you take the Butler Bulldogs. They're a better team this year. But Mike, here comes your brain that says, Mike, the last 3 times you bet Butler, not only have they not covered, but they've gotten their doors blown off. And then my brain comes in and says, Mike, just so you know, Xavier's kind of getting hot towards the end of the year. And they just came off beating DePaul and Georgetown, who are the 2 worst teams in the Big East. So they might not even be getting hot. They might just be beating bad teams. So we're taking Butler again.
Again.
And I will lose my ass
Okay.
on the Butler Bulldogs. But you take Butler in that
I
spot.
don't hate that.
because Xavier's getting hot against bad teams. You go into Hinkle, which is really hard to play in. I've been to Hinkle. If you've ever seen that movie, what's that movie? Hoosiers. Have you ever seen Hoosiers?
No.
You've never seen Hoosiers?
Never even heard of it.
The basketball movie.
No.
Kids from Indiana?
Never watched it.
From high school?
Never watched it.
Chat.
Is that crazy?
Chat.
Wow, yeah, maybe that is crazy.
Chat. Can everyone please at least like back me up that a Hoosiers is a fucking iconic movie?
It might be. I've never seen it. Never even heard of it.
Josh, it's an iconic movie.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to sit
Never
there
went
and be
through my
like,
ear.
I want you-
What do you want me to do?
I want you to sit there and be like, maybe I need to see Hoosiers.
I'll watch it.
Did you put
I'll
your back
watch it.
against the wall and go watch some Hoosiers?
What's it on?
I don't know. It's literally
figure it
it's
out.
from like the 80s.
I'll figure it
It's
out.
like early, but
Okay.
they play the state high school championship in Hinkle, so that's why
Oh,
that
okay.
gym is like so famous because it was in the movie.
Okay.
But that's where Butler plays.
Okay.
Hinkle Fieldhouse. So they're playing in Hinkle. I'm taking the Butler Bulldogs. Moving on. SMU minus 11.5. I'm ready to fade ECU. They fucking suck. And they take my money every time I bet on them, bet against them. I made them a POD like 3 shows ago, and they fucking got their dick blown off.
That's a big spread too.
So we're taking SMU minus
Yeah,
11.5.
down.
I hate
Down.
hate East Carolina.
Down.
Josh and I are fading each other. I want FAU. I don't want them, but we're just fading each other. Josh, I'm ready to take a stand. And then I'm going to give my POD after we run through this late
It's a
slate.
game of the night.
It might be the game of the night. And it's the Marquette Golden Eagles to cover against those dirty fucks in UConn. So give me Tyler Kolek to drop 25 plus on those dirty fucking Huskies. And I hope Dan Hurley gets a beer thrown at him. Because he's a fucking scumbag and I hate him. I hate him. So give me Marquette plus 5.5. You'll never see me on this channel betting on the UConn Huskies. Their fan base sucks. Their school sucks. The state sucks. Everything about them sucks.
Their basketball team's pretty good.
And they suck.
They're pretty good.
They fucking suck. They should have never left the Big East. We should have never let them back in. We should have let them rot over there in the American Conference where they belong because their football sucks. Give me Marquette plus 5.5 at home against UConn.
Dude, I saw something. I mean, this has nothing to do with the bet,
Yeah.
but they like graded the top 20 players in college basketball. And like, you know, like how they do those like ratings, like overall ratings, essentially. It's like
Yeah.
PFF, like their grade, and 5 UConn players are on it. Wow. That is absurd.
I think only 2 probably deserve to be on it.
Yeah,
Tristan
I
and-
don't know.
and
That
Clinton.
just crazy.
I don't
to
think anyone
about.
outside of those 2 deserve to be on the list.
Is that not crazy? That would just
No,
like
that's
think about,
insane.
yeah.
No, it's insane. BYU on the road is an auto fade. Iowa State minus 7.5. Kentucky is going to melt the face off of Vanderbilt. And Rob Dillingham, step forward, is going to be our first Demon Square of the year because he's dropping 20.
Let's go. I love that.
Rob Dillingham's dropping 20.
Let's go.
Kentucky's beating Vanderbilt by 30. And that's the end of the road right there. You take Minnesota minus 5.5 because they're the best team against the spread. And you do this and you click the fucking button. And if they don't cover, you go, guess what, guys? They covered 24 spreads this year. So you can't even be mad
Yeah,
at me.
it's fun.
All right. You can't even be mad
Just
at me.
keep doing it.
I feel like I'm coming with some aggression.
Yeah, you are.
I don't know why I'm
Fired
angry
up.
right now, but I'm fired
Got
up.
your voice back. That's why.
Yeah, my voice is all the way back. Yeah, I was talking like a little bitch yesterday. No, I'm just kidding. Give me the Texas A&M Aggies at home. What's going on over there, Josh? Give me the Texas A&M Aggies at home against Mississippi State. Mississippi State at home is a team I'm scared to fade. Mississippi State on the road is not a team I'm scared to fade. Give me the Aggies at home. I fucking love that spread. Minus 2.5 money line. I'll probably take the money line, but that's what I'm doing for that. Josh, we got 5 minutes left. Let's cook our parlay.
Let's do it.
Let's do the plan B. Let's do the it's already locked. And by the way, how many people do we have?
We have 4,038 right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, our biggest show to date. Ladies and gentlemen,
Absolutely
our biggest
huge.
show to date. 4,038 people watching. Welcome to the show. We do it every
Un-
day. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you're following all the Book It people. That's Book It with Trent. That's Javon Deeb. That's Krabs Vets. That's Lauren Kelling. That's Chell God 7. And that's also Josh Kasser.
Yeah, I guess you can follow me if you want.
Shout out Josh Kasser.
Heavy
his
content coming from me.
heavy content coming out of Josh right now. He's gonna start pumping. All right, Josh. Let's do our let's do Plan B, and it's already locked. For those of you
Okay.
that might just be tuning in, the Plan B is the latest game on the slate. If everything didn't go to accord, if you made some mistakes, guess what? You lock in the morning after Plan B, and you wake up knowing you tried your hardest. Josh, what is it?
We're going
And then I'm giving the POD.
to the rainbow.
Fuck, Josh.
Minus 6.
Take me to the island. Yeah. Dude, I fucking love betting on the island.
It's so
When we're
fun.
on the island, I fucking love it. Hawaii minus 6.5 is a plan B. I'm actually locking that in.
Yeah, I love that.
All
And
right.
then the it's already locked
High as hope.
is, I mean, you probably could expect it. Vanderbilt, Kentucky, 161.5. We're taking it.
We'll take that over, and you know what's going to happen? Kentucky's going to score it by themselves.
Kentucky's going to score 100 points, and it's going to be all on Vanderbilt.
No,
to
Kentucky's going to
hopefully get
score
60.
100. Kentucky will score 118 points tonight.
Jeez, I mean, then that over's hitting for sure.
Kentucky will score 118 points tonight. I'm putting it on this bobblehead of Jordan Poole.
Okay.
I was going to put it on something else, but I was like, man, I'm not that confident in 118. That's a lot of fucking points.
That's a ton.
The POD. The play of the day. The rare Mikey Overs. One play that he's going to drop a nuclear missile on in GTA. The Seton Hall Pirates at home to beat the fucking dirty Villanova Wildcats that are not good. They are not good. And they caught Providence in a bad game and shot the lights out. But guess what? That 4 hours from Providence, Rhode Island down to Newark, New Jersey is going to feel like a goddamn trek. And they're going to walk into the Rock and they're going to play a Shaheen Holloway team that's going to put a seatbelt on every player that even has a chance of dropping points. So take any less than you want on Villanova players today and watch Seton Hall dismantle and beat the shit out of Villanova. Because Kyle Neptune's going to get outcoached and their players are going to get outplayed. And it's going to get ugly, and Seton Hall's winning this fucking game. And you're only seeing a short spread because Seton Hall just dropped a big game on the road, and Villanova just won a big game on the road.
Yeah, what is that spread? It's not on here for some reason.
1.5.
For
Seton Hall.
okay,
Minus 1.5.
okay.
But I'm going to tell you why you're seeing that
I think we
spread.
have to put that in the parlay.
But I think here's why you're seeing that spread. Villanova, 4 in their last 5. But let me tell you who they beat. Georgetown. Butler, Georgetown, Providence. You know who they lost to?
Who?
UConn by 20. You know who Seton Hall beat this year?
UConn.
UConn. And I'll tell you what Seton Hall's done their last 2. They've lost their last 2, Josh. But I'm going to ask you to tell me who they lost to. And then when you don't know, say, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know.
They lost to UConn and Creighton on the road, who are the 2 best teams
Yeah,
in the
okay.
East.
So that, yeah.
So now let's
Bounce
bring the Villanova Wildcats into our house and get a short spread and take their fucking head off.
Yeah, I love that.
Like Pirates
love
do.
Like Pirates.
Seton Hall
yeah.
Pirates, play of the day. POD.
That money line's going in the parlay.
Yeah, it's in the parlay.
All right.
Seton
We're
Hall
taking
money.
that. The 2 that I had marked down, I think
Uh-oh.
we have to put LSU in there.
Yeah, plus chicken.
Plus
Lead
Chicky.
the points.
I think TCU money line.
Okay.
Get,
Do we
like,
take the
get
points with
juice.
LSU just in case?
I think we should
Okay.
for the parlay.
All right.
And then TCU. Those are the only 2 that I had. That
Should I add
liked.
one?
I mean, I love North Texas, but we're not taking that. Yeah, add one.
Hawaii money
Okay.
line. I think that's the 4.
Let's see what that pays out. Dude, I don't know why, but
Just don't screen share it.
no, I know. I don't know why, but the Seton Hall game's not on here, but those odds will be around plus 640 with the Seton Hall game.
640.
Yeah, plus
I
640.
love that.
Yeah.
I love
with
that.
2 minus 200 pluses.
So listen, you take the Seton Hall Pirates at home to take the head off of Villanova. You take the LSU Tigers on the road going into Moose, Arkansas with the points. You take the points. But if you want to straight bet them, you leave the points at the door. You go ahead and you take TCU money line because Javon signed off on it. And you take the Plan B money line, Hawaii to wrap the night up on the island. You wake up to coin from the morning after. That's how you fucking get one, Josh, on a Wednesday.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you what, I'm feeling good about that.
Okay.
I'm feeling good about that. All right, listen, guys, we end every show with a little inspiration, a little motivation, because I like getting people out of here on a high note. And here's what I'm going to say. There's a certain football player that's been making a lot of news lately. His name is Johnny Manziel. He's my favorite football player growing up, probably one of my heroes. I love to party like him. I love him as a football player. I hope everything works out for him. But there's something that he tweeted before an iconic game when the whole world didn't know who he was, when the whole world was doubting the team that he played for, when the whole world probably wasn't even going to watch the game because they thought it was going to get ugly. And Johnny Manziel opened his Twitter before he played a prime Nick Saban Alabama in Alabama. And he tweeted a quote from a certain movie. And we're using that quote today. And I want you to use that quote for the rest of the week. And I want you to use that quote when you go into a meeting room. And I want you to use this quote when you go into the next athletic event you play. I want you to use this quote in literally everything in your life. Take from them everything. Leave for them nothing. All right? So when you're looking at this slate and you got the book staring against you and you got the bookie breathing down your neck, you take a slate on a Wednesday and you take from them everything and give to them nothing. You take from them everything and you give to them nothing. And that's what we're doing today with the Seton Hall Pirates and Villanova Wildcats. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I love you. Please take one step forward for me today. I know how hard it is to get one foot in front of the other when you're having a bad week, bad day. So as always, we end every episode. Just take one step forward for me today. Just one. It gets easier every day you do it. Stay right there. We got BTL and Surgical Stream coming up right here. If you go over to the Twitch, you can be a chatter. Make sure you follow, like, subscribe, everything on the YouTube, Book It Sports, everything. We'll see you here tomorrow morning, 11:45 a.m. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night from Josh and I in the morning after. We'll see you here tomorrow.